ownership. This is the climax. This is what it's all about, okay? Ownership says, this is about me. This is about my relationship with my dad. Okay? That's the origin. That's when I felt this shame before. That's the foundation of the reaction that I'm having. Okay? My brain is equating, you entered and said, where's the tape measure, with prior experiences I had with my dad, and is releasing shame that I've been sitting on for decades, and that's the origin of my reaction. So I'm going to anger as a defense to shame, which is shame that I've been sitting on for a long time, that has to do with my relationship with my dad, not with you. So this is really about me. You might be critical, you might be whatever you are, but I don't have to have the reaction to that I'm having. Okay? I'm having the reaction because of this. Alright? That's part one of ownership. Part two of ownership is, and I'm critical. Myself. I have that energy in me, and I really don't like it. Okay? So the other reason that I'm mad at you is that you're showing me something that an energy that Dad carried, an energy that I carry as well. As a matter of fact, I'm really critical of you for the way that you walked in and said, where's the tape measure? I don't think you should have done that. So I see that you're also being a painful mirror to me in this situation. Okay? So those are the two pieces of the ownership component. What's the kind of family of origin usually type event that this represents or reminded me of, and also how is this a painful mirror? Okay, so now at this point we start to defuse. Okay, and one of the things we ask in the clearing is, and when we get here, is, so can you see that this is this event here, and that this person that you're having the issue with is really a stand-in for issues that you have with yourself and with your dad. And you see that there's a projection at work here, and are you willing to let this projection go? Okay. So if a facilitator is there, that's what the facilitator is going to say. If you're self-facilitating, that's that's the next step, is to let go of this projection. Which is something that might take a little effort to do, but try to do it right then and there. Another thing that is part of this piece, that goes with this really, okay? It goes mostly with the dad piece. The critical piece is to look at, well, what's the impact of my being critical in my life? What kinds of impacts do I create on other people when I'm critical? Because this is kind of a reality test, okay? It's just one of the things, if you think about glorification of the lower self, one of the things that we'll do is, okay, we'll give ourselves a lot of excuses, and we'll say, well, I'm critical, but people around me need me to be critical, because if I wasn't, then nothing would get done, and yada yada. And if we have an honest look at the impact, and we realize that people don't want to talk to me, people avoid having certain kinds of conversations with me because they know I'm going to go there with them and so forth, that kind of reprograms the brain to have a more realistic sense of what the real value of this characteristic is. Okay, and this is the part that, you can take this and you can do whatever you want with it to make it more Pathwork-like if you want. You can bring in, if you're seeing opportunities for lectures to come into this, and you want to adapt this, by all means, go ahead. This is not a rigid thing that has to look precisely like this. I'm just telling you how it exists in the world so far, And to me, this is the piece that has all the potential. I mean, here you're just setting the stage. You got to get this stuff out on the table. You got to draw these distinctions, and you got to lay it out. Now this is where the work piece comes. And then finally, once that's all done, whatever that looked like, we go to wants. And the wants usually have three aspects. What I want from you, what I want from myself in relation to you, what I want for the two of us. So she'll say, well, what I want from you is to lay off a little bit. Now he knows, by the way, that she's got him a little wrong, but that's okay. He's listening. He's just absorbing this as being her experience, and then he's going to go through his own process of seeing the grain of truth in it and so forth, and eventually he's going to feed back to her, but he's not going to do it right away because this is all work that needs to settle in first. So I want you to lay off. I'd like me to kind of calm down and not be as reactive about it. I mean, let's say that you do criticize me. I'd like to not jump all over you about it. And what would I like for the two of us? I'd like us just to be conscious that this is a possible place where we could have conflict, and I'd like us to be careful in this area so that we don't end up fighting with each other unnecessarily. Okay, and at that point, she says, yeah, that's it, that's the sequence. How do I feel? I feel pretty good. Okay, I'm done. And he says, okay, I hear that. Might have some feedback for you later, but I hear you. Good. What do you want to do now? Want to get some lunch? And then we let all this settle. All right. And then later, maybe the next day, he says, I've been thinking about your clearing. Can I give you a little bit of feedback about it? I heard critical, and the grain of truth that I saw for that in me was that I'm just so frustrated with the way things are, with the way things are playing out in my life, and I want somebody to fix it. I want somebody to change it for me, and I was hoping that you would kind of take pity on me and change it for me. So I was trying to kind of enlist you in fixing my mess, and I'm thinking that might have been the energy that might have landed as criticism for you. So that's the main thing I want to let you know about that, is that I see that in myself, and I also get the impact on you. I get how that lands for you. So I'm going to be sensitive to the fact that you're sensitive to being criticized, and when I'm in that place, I'm going to try to express myself with more ownership. I'm going to say, honey, oh my God, I'm so frazzled. Is there any chance you might be able to help me out? And would it work if I said that to you? Would that be a way of kind of approaching you that wouldn't be likely to push that criticism button? And she said, yeah, that sounds all right. Yeah, we could try that.